It's day 4 of 30 cups in 30 days. Let's see what I draw today. Uh-oh. This, I think I'm going to have to take a little bigger chunk of clay for this. That is a very tall cup. Okay. Let's look at it. It's a tall, slender cup. It's pretty narrow, so I need a pretty narrow base. And I need it to be, I don't know what, I'm thinking about that. So it's about that wide. It's 2, 3.5 times as tall as it is wide. That's gonna take some doing. Okay, but I don't want it to be a huge cup. So I'm not gonna put 2 or 3 pounds on here. We're just gonna make a smaller, tall, narrow cup, because the goal here is to be sort of equivalent amounts of clay, even though the cups are not the same. All right, here we go. So again, I'm going to center it kind of tall and narrow, because that base is pretty small. All right. Okay. That may almost be too big around to open, or too tall to open, but we're going to do it anyway. Try anyway. Again, I aim for about, that wide of an opening, because it's going to be super tall and narrow. Okay. Big tall cylinder to start. Keep it as narrow as we can. At some point my hand is, the level of how small can we make it. So copy that in. It's way too wide at the top. Way too wide. So we'll do one more pull for height here. And then we're going to start shaping. So first we need to make it narrower at the top. Sadly, we can't keep it narrower at the top because I have to get my hand down in there to shape that belly in the middle there. Feels like it's not tall enough yet. I don't know. Maybe let me see what we got here. Let's see. I said it was about 3 times. So let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, that needs to be taller. Oh, jeepers. This is crazy. Okay, well, maybe I should put more clay on the wheel. I'm going to find out. There's sort of a limit to how tall you can make something of with a certain amount of clay. Okay, let's color in. Okay. Okay. Does it any better? 1, 2. No. That is not better. Okay, well, first we're going to cut off this little edge here, which I can't get to go in. And then we're going to pull it up some more. More water. At this rate, you really want to slow down your wheel so that it does not get out of control. And when you slow down your wheel, you gotta slow down your hands. both at once, right? Okay, so it's probably a little closer. Okay, so I think part of the problem is it's too wide at the bottom. So I'm going to actually, this is weird, I'm going to collar in the bottom. Part way up. Because we want it to be tall and slender. So let's do that again, a little bit further. Now, the benefit of collaring in the bottom is because when you push it in, there's a little more thickness there. So I should be able, hopefully, to get a little more height out of this. Now, let's see if we can get a little more height. While continuing to push in. Okay, a little better. All right, a little more. We're going to push in a little bit more. A little narrower at the bottom. And then we're going to widen it out a little bit here as it gets wider. And normally, if I had a whole bunch of clay, I'd stick my hand in there and belly out, like push the belly out. But instead, I'm going to kind of go the opposite direction. I'm going to push in the places that have to be in and see if I can make it a little taller and a little slimmer. Okay, so. Uh-oh, we got some warbling going on here. It's probably a little thin to be collared that much. We will hopefully fix it. Okay, so we have belly out. It needs to be a little more out, probably. So even though I'm afraid of what it's going to do to the top of it, we're gonna push out a little bit on it. So here we go. Hold on. Eek. Pause. A little pause there. Okay, so I think I still need to go in a little bit more on the bottom. So we're going to trim a little bit more. I'm getting a little worried about how stable this thing is going to be. It's going to have a very narrow bottom. But, you know, we're trying things. If they're awful, you can always recycle it. Clay is infinitely recyclable until it's been fired, right? Okay. So I have water in the base down there. Let's see. I have a sponge on a stick. Let me grab it. Oh boy, that may not work. I'm really worried. All right. Okay, that worked. We got all the water out. So now we're doing some really risky moves here. We're gonna rib without any interior support, which is a bad plan, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then I'm gonna get my rib, and we're gonna belly out a little bit more here. Okay, so we have kind of a belly. Now we need, the next thing is this needs to come back in a little bit. This is kind of tall, slender thing, right? Wow, that is an ugly shape. I should have thought better of this, I think. But, you know, I was basing it on something historic, so. Okay, that's got some warbles in it. Let's see if I can throw those out. Okay. That rim has to go in some more. At some point I'm going to run into, I cannot color in anymore. It's going to just be like, no more of that. You have gone too far. Okay. It's getting lopsided here. I don't know. I'm a little worried about this all around. Okay, so we're going to trim off the top. ugly. So I kind of need it to be more of a gradual in here. I need that to be more centered because it's kind of gotten off. Oh, yeah, okay. So I still need that down there to be more out. I'm going to try something stupid. We're going to try with a throwing stick. Okay. I think it went out a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to push in just a hair more here. I think we've got almost the right sort of shape, even though I don't think it's quite tall enough. But, you know, I decided how tall to make it, so I guess since I didn't give myself enough clay, I think we're going to have to go with that. Okay, so I'm going to straighten up the rim with my trusty plastic wrap hack. And then I'm going to push it on the base a little bit because I want a little foot there. So I'm going to get a bit of a foot. Okay. It's not fantastic. Let's see. Let's compare. What do we got? This is the shape of the cup. It's not terrible. I think it's close enough. I think the handle is part of what does it. So we're gonna go with that and say this is day number 4. I don't